Before CMMS, there really was none. It was just everybody ship and build, and it was on the customer theirself to manage their own material.
The thing that makes CMMS unique in the industry is we actually dedicate the facilities, the inventory, the personnel to support a capital project.
We're talking about low dollar, high volume of electrical materials that is in our DNA.
We're not a distributor, man. We're a construction company.
Wholesale Electric was founded April 1st, 1949 by Mr. Clyde Rutland. In early 1990, I believe, we decided that CMMS needed to have its own standalone warehouse and facility. The inception of CMMS was started at a client request. They were having a hard time managing their materials, especially cable at that time, and we devised a method to be able to do it by circuit to keep control of the cable until they needed it. We eventually got to a point where we were doing the MTO takeoffs for the project and running it through our house-made or homemade system to provide what is now CMMS.
CMMS is basically a construction material management system. In the very beginning, it was a lot smaller, and we intended to keep growing as we became international. We want to come in and be a part of the team. Once they've used CMMS and see the value of it, they usually want us right back to do the next job.
CMMS has always been in the front of construction and really in technology. We're able to create on-site management and also cable management. In the early 2000s, where we went to an internet-based system, that business unit is to support capital projects.
The biggest thing we always tell the customer is early involvement. Let us get involved, make sure you're picking the right materials that are readily available and are returnable back to the manufacturer.
Manufacturer relationships are just as important as your customers. You need those guys to help us move material as quick as we can. Everything's always changing. Expect the unexpected, right? There's just stuff always coming at us. It's a fire sale every day.
It's a partnership. The planning is the first thing we do. Normally we'll have a big kickoff meeting, and from that point we just decide what are they looking from Wholesale Electric to provide them, and what are we needing from the customers in order to make this a successful project.
After the planning stage comes the identification of the material. One of the good things about identifying the material up front is continuity of material, and it eliminates mistakes.
The main key component is on the quantify stage. If we do a takeoff of a drawing, then we're going to be holding ourselves responsible for that takeoff. We're saying that this is how much we see that you're going to need, which is obviously going to be a huge plus for the customer. We're trying to do that at the best price possible to you, and that's what we're going to hold ourselves accountable for. Reviewing is always important, because then you know before you do any sort of ordering that you know you're getting the right material. You know you're getting the right amount of that material, and you know that it's the right stuff that you're going to need.
The releasing process is one of the key components to CMMS. By releasing just-in-time delivery for the project, it allows them to save lots of money. Those two things alone are really big for us here at CMMS.
What separates CMMS from our competitors is the experience of our project coordinators. We understand what the customer needs, and we also understand how important it is to have a team working together from on-site and in Houston, supported by the departments, which have an individual that's been focused on the project since day one.
Everybody within their entire organization exhibits the honesty and the integrity that we're looking for. They tell you right up front when you're going to have a problem. They help you through all the issues. They're here to help us for the long run, and so every decision that we're both making is based on that long-term relationship.
One of the reasons we liked dealing with Wholesale was they could give us an insight of what material was needed at what time frame. We could gauge our manufacturing and keep a labor force working year-round. It's kind of a one-of-a-kind that other distributors don't offer it. I would have never came over to Wholesale if I wasn't convinced that this process works, brings in the project on time, under budget, safe for everyone.